Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Brian.
And I'm John.
And we are here with
Kyle Headland, who is the Brony chef.
Hello. Actually, I'm actually a little bit more than just the Brony chef. I actually have two aliases. One of them is the Brony chef, but I'm also known as the Brony Gourmet on YouTube.
Ooh.
Yeah. It's fancy.
Wow. Can you explain Le Brony Gourmet to us?
Le Brony Gourmet is a cooking show that is made for bronies by bronies. It's kind of one of its first little experiments that I wanted to do, because I realized that a lot of fandoms, either within sci-fi or animation, they don't really have a lot of people diving into the culinary aspect of the fandom so far. I mean, they mostly stick with like baking items and everything, and you know, there's always one thing I always kind of wonder: why is it that, like, for fandoms like the Bronies or like for Whovians or whatever, it's always more towards baking instead of like just going more towards the savory stuff or more towards like anything else that's like outside the dessert category.
Right.
Could be just that it's easier. You know?
That's what I was saying. It's probably easier for them to make. I mean, all you gotta do is like cut up some like sugar cookies, and you can get some like some icing out of like one of those like tubes, and you can make like a design.
Oh, you mean like a pastry bag?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
And they can say create this, blah blah blah. It's not really, you know, them fully creating it. It's just them taking
I
something
guess
that's already
like,
been made, you know what I mean, and then just adding their little thing, and they taking the full credit for it.
Yeah, it's a little bit more similar to cake decorating.
What I like about what you do is that you actually make the stuff from scratch.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to give a little bit more of a culinary sense within the community, as I said before. But I also want to teach other bronies how to cook as well, because
We need more of that.
I wanted it, like, I wanted the brony community, not only the bronies but also other communities as well, to learn how to cook this great food. You know, not only because it's like healthier and like really delicious, but also it's kind of gives a chance for
New flavors,
new flavors, but also like a new art medium to kind of like really expand on the universe a little bit. Yeah,
because we've seen just pictures of the stuff that you've made, and I look at it and my jaw drops, like, that looks so good.
Well, thank you very much for that.
Yeah. So, next question we have for you is, what's your Brony story? How'd you get into the fandom?
My Brony story is quite a very interesting one, because this happened about 2 years ago, back in February of 2012. I was coming back from a server course at culinary school, and I couldn't really sleep because I was still hyped up from the whole shift and everything. And I remember sitting there in my bed, looking through my iPad, through the internet, through YouTube specifically, because it has gotten me into so many shenanigans in the past. And I vaguely heard about the term brony, really vaguely, because back then it wasn't really well known. It was just kind of vague, like, it's just kind of like not much information about it. But I was just curious, and I decided, okay, let's take a look. And I saw the first episode right on the screen there. But before I tapped it, I was like, wait a minute. If I decided to actually access this, chances are I could be addicted. So I took out a coin. I flipped it. Heads, I don't watch it. Tails, I do. You can probably guess what happened next.
Fate decided itself for him.
Yeah, so basically I went through the first episode. Okay, orange horse says this, blah, blah, blah. Okay, purple unicorn says this, blah, blah, blah. And then at the end of the first episode, it says to be continued. And I just figured, well, I can't really end on that. So, you know, I decided to watch the next episode. And then all of a sudden I was watching the next episode, and the next, and the next. And throughout the whole week, it's like I went through the whole first season, which was 26 episodes in 1 week, very late at night. And normally it would end there, but there is actually more. Because one night, I still remember this, I had a dream about Twilight Sparkle turning into a plate of salmon.
What?
I don't know why. I don't know if it was fate. I don't know if I ate something. It just happened.
Oh, wow.
And I remember waking up one night and I realized I want to do that. And then that's when the Brony Chef project was born. And then
That is awesome.
yeah, and then it just grew from there. It just
Oh man.
yeah, it just skyrocketed.
So I was gonna also ask you about how have you told your parents about, you know,
Yeah,
in them.
yeah, I did, and the thing is that I was really straightforward with it because after a few weeks, I'm like, you know what? I'm tired of being afraid. I have to come out. That they're gonna find out eventually. I have to at least address them this, and so I decided to go up one day, just say I like My Little Pony and I'm not afraid of it, and they're kind of like, okay, yeah, sure, whatever, just do whatever.
Because you told me, because you told me before this is that you told me that they basically you were talking to your coworkers about.
Yeah.
This
Oh
before you were
yes,
talking
yes.
to your
Before
parents.
that's right. Sorry. What I meant to say. Well, before I told my parents, I told some of my other volunteer members from the Restaurant Opportunity Center of Chicago, which, by the way, Rock Chicago is really awesome. You should check them out. And they were doing restaurant rights and everything, and I decided to just kind of like talk about it a little bit. At first, they were kind of like teasing me a little bit, nothing too bad, just like very light, like calling me Brony Boy or whatever. But
Why you like a girl show?
yeah, it's questions like that. But
It's
after
a
that, it's
girl
like,
show. Wrong.
yeah, well, not really. I mean, they were just kind of like, you like a little girl show, and it was just, yeah, whatever. And then, but after a while, they're kind of like, oh wow, that's really cool, and
They probably watched an episode.
Actually, yeah, there was actually a social worker that actually came in and actually asked, hey, do you want to watch an episode? And I was like, yeah, sure. I mean, I'm pretty sure she was just doing it just for like school credit because of like psychology and stuff like that. But at the same time, I wouldn't mind. I always like to educate people about the Brony community as well, about like what we do and like kind of like all the neat stuff that we do. Like, I absolutely love the artwork and the music because I believe we're currently in an internet renaissance with this, or we're on our way to it.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyways, can you tell us what originally got you into wanting to cook?
What got me into cooking? It was actually kind of a bit of a multi-step process, actually. Like, when I was a kid, I used to bake a lot with my dad. My dad would always like to bake breads and, like, pretzels and all sorts of stuff. So that was one part. But I think what really got me into it was Anthony Bourdain. If you ever saw his show, No Reservations,
yes.
he travels the world and everything. But I think what really hit the nail on the head, and I actually do have the book right here, was mostly this book, which is Kitchen Confidential. And when I read this book, I was kind of like, I really want to do this. So I kind of decided to just give it a shot, just see what happens, and I just got into it. And it was a little bit rough, but I'm still in the game. I'm still in there. I might actually consider making my own delicatessen someday. Yeah, I even have a title for it: The Brave and the Bold. Coming to a Chicagoland near you.
Did you get that title from a Batman?
No.
Batman, the Brave and the Bold.
Nah, I mean I've heard of the show, but not like that.
Okay.
It's kind of more like I just chose that because it's kind of like I want to try something different from other delicatessens. Like I want to have the farm-raised meats and spotlight them.
Right.
Yeah, and just kind of like do stuff that's like opposite of what regular grocery stores do, which is opening up salads from plastic bags. Honestly, every time I cut, I'm not trying to like badmouth anyone, but every time I open this salad from a bag, I actually die a little inside.
No, you gotta do it fresh, guy.
Yeah, you gotta do it
get
fresh.
The
You
lettuce.
gotta do it fresh. You gotta like get up early in the morning to the farmer's market.
Yeah, you gotta get lettuce. You gotta get the tomato.
Yeah,
you gotta get the onion.
Oh yeah, you
all
gotta
that
get
stuff.
all the stuff. Yeah, it's very important.
Now, I know somebody who actually threw apples into a full legit veggie salad.
Oh,
It actually
oh
worked
yeah.
really well.
I mean, apples have been like inside salads like forever. That's like a very classical hotel move, actually.
It's really good, actually. It gives
Yeah,
like
I mean, apples
spice.
are really good. I mean, obviously, it works. It works well with bacon too.
And you throw a little cheese on there, a little bit of pepper.
Yeah.
Serve pepper with a smile. So that's what my waiter actually said when I went on my cruise back when I was a senior in high school. I went on a 10-day cruise, and he would always go, "Pepper with a smile." He was the coolest waiter ever.
Okay, yeah.
But anyways,
What's your favorite meal to cook?
Favorite meal to cook? That's a very good question because I made so many. I think my pride and joy would have to be this one dish that I actually based off of Applejack right here in my hand, actually. Yeah, it was a apple marinated skirt steak that's been marinated with apple juice, cinnamon, nutmeg, and chili powder, and it's come with a side of a booked up apple. which is an apple half that's been cored out, and it's broiled with applewood smoked bacon, gorgonzola, and a little squeeze of lemon.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That sounds delicious.
Yeah, and you know, I almost got on television because of that, but yet they cut me off at the last second.
That sounds so good. Why? I wonder why they cut you off.
I don't know. They say something about production value, but I have a feeling that the fact that, you know, I came out as a brony and everything, because here's the thing. The thing is that I applied for everything. I told them everyone that I was a brony, so, you know, I originally didn't even want it to be on there. I did it as a joke just to see the reaction. But yet they started accepting me, and they gave me an audition, and they say, okay, you're in. And then I spent like 2 months training, and I spent like almost $500 alone in skirt steak with practice alone. And it's just
Skirt steak ain't cheap.
yeah, and basically, you know, I kind of like did all this, and then the night before I was supposed to go on, I get this phone call during my break at work, and they say, you can't be on the show. And they sound way too enthusiastic about it, and it's like, it was soul crushing. I even had to leave work early because I just felt so sad. Just
That's
like,
awful.
ugh, I don't know, but you know what? You know, it's in the past. I got my YouTube channel, so it's all cool.
Make them pay.
Make 'em pay.
Yeah. Now your show, you know, I kind of see it almost like a Brody version of Nerdy Nummies.
Yeah, it's
Except
kind of like
Nerdy
that.
Nummies is more baking and yours
Right.
is more
Mine's
full-on
more
cooking.
Yeah, mine's kind of more in terms of like home cooking. So kind of like a little bit more like if you want to entertain your friends. It's actually a little bit more catered to like people who want to entertain.
Right.
So for people who want to make hors d'oeuvres for like meetups and stuff like that, that's kind of like what I want to like the show to focus on. Just kind of like because you know people will want to make something for like a meetup or like for an awesome party
Right.
or even for a convention like this, and you know they want to make cool hors d'oeuvres. So I just kind of figured, hey, that hasn't been made yet in the Brony community. Maybe I should do it.
Plus, being here is your first convention, am I right?
Yes, this is actually my very first convention.
This kind of will give you an idea on what you can do for like
Yeah,
maybe a future.
and,
You know what I'm
and you
saying?
know, so far I'm really enjoying this. I think the best part about it is just interacting with people.
Oh yeah.
Seriously, yeah, that's like the best part of it. That's just
And
kind of
that's,
like
you're getting an interview on your first con ever, you know.
yeah, I'm getting my first interview, which is pretty cool.
Well, no, because that's why I got more into. I mean, I used to just watch the show. I never would expect to go to a con. And he asked me, "Hey, you want to go to a convention?" And I'm like, maybe I'll let you know. And then also I look into it more, and I actually go online and see how conventions prior were. And I'm like, these people seem to treat each other like family. You know what I'm saying? Like a community.
Oh yeah.
So when we go to our first convention, Midwest Year 2012, was the only year that I had it. And I couldn't believe how down to earth everybody was. And even the writers, because they're Emma Larson, Amy Keening Rogers, Charlotte Fullerton, they were all so down to earth. They didn't think, oh, I'm a writer of the show, I should be a higher up class.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're with the community. They want to interact with the community.
Yeah, I actually just came out of the M.A. Larson panel. And
So did we.
Yeah, and I was actually quite surprised. I was kind of like, wow, he is a really down to earth guy. And
He's funny.
I'm
Yeah, he is.
also pretty shocked that he wasn't originally intending to put the wings on there. I never thought. I thought, I heard so many news stories about like M.A. Larson put the wings on Twilight. He should suffer.
Hasbro did it. Everybody Hasbro said it, not him.
Yeah.
Stop with the thanks, M.A. Larson.
No, it's not thanks Emmy Larson. It's what is it? The
Twilacorn or whatever.
No. It's the
Princess Twilight.
not side with Emmy Larson, but
Oh,
I believe
yeah,
in Emmy Larson.
Yeah.
I believe in M.A. Larson. That's a pretty cool thing.
Yep.
I do believe in Emmy Larson. I think he's the best writer for the show. That's my opinion.
Well, second Dave Polsky right now.
Yeah.
'Cause he's done.
Well, we can't say
job
we.
season 4.
Well, yeah, Emmy didn't have anything in season 4. I think season 5 when he returns. I think season 5 is gonna be better than season 4. That's my opinion, though. I mean, we'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
So, anyways,
Yeah.
do you like to eat your own food that you make?
Yeah, whenever I experiment, I always definitely taste my own product, obviously. But I also kind of like use my family as like guinea pigs a little bit. Yeah, I
What do
mean,
you think of this?
what do you think of this? And like, oh, come on. Okay, first off, that has never happened before. Never. In my entire career
See,
as a chef, no one has vomited in front of my face yet. But here's the thing. I mean, they are a little bit speculative of it, but you know, they're kind of really supportive about what I do.
That's good.
You know, I mean, I really want to be on television someday with like Food Network and stuff like that.
That's the way families should be, though. Is they gotta be supportive.
Oh yeah, they are supportive. I mean, they're not really that supportive, but you know, well, you know, they think that I'm doing good.
That's good.
That's essentially what it is.
Right.
Yeah.
So you already told us about your favorite meal to cook.
Yeah.
What's the one meal that because you do cook for your family at times, right?
Yeah.
What's the one meal that they want you to cook that you're just like, oh, I have to make this again? You know what I mean?
Well, this is kind of a bit embarrassing, but I'm always nervous about chicken. That's just the thing. Because the thing is, chicken is very temperamental. You can't overcook it, you can't undercook it. It has to be just right. And seriously, when I went through like culinary school and through sanitation class specifically, I've heard so many stories. Oddly enough, the most common sanitation horror stories always involve chicken salad for some reason. I don't know why, but yet it always involves chicken salad. Sorry for anyone for like turning off chicken salad forever. I'm pretty sure that not every single chicken salad is deadly. But anyways, but you know, from there, I'm always like really cautious about chicken. Like I'm always kind of like, I don't know if it's done yet. This is kind of like, you know, it's like I'm like really super nervous, and I was like, I always do something called the slice of truth, where I slice open one chicken breast to see if it's done, and it was kind of like, if it's perfect, I was like, oh thank God. And if it's like still pink, I was like, I put it back on the grill. It's just like,
No.
yeah, it's just kind of like, it's really nerve-wracking because, you know, because salmonella is no big, there's no laughing matter. It's super scary.
Yeah. Oh man.
Definitely.
Yeah, people actually die from that. So, you know, I'm just kind of like, that's like the one dish that I'm always kind of like really like, this like,
Yeah.
and you know, either I undercook it or overcook it. It's just so frustrating sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, I cook on the grill too a lot. That happens a lot where you think it's done, and either you cut it in half and you see pink, like,
Yeah.
or
Actually,
it's like darker and darker and darker. And it's like,
Actually, I found out a trick for that. What you do is you actually took the burning coals, you actually put it on one side of the grill, all the coals, and then basically when you're done making the grill marks, you actually kind of pull it somewhat away from the hot zone, and then you use the lid as like kind of like as a convection oven. So you're technically turning the grill into an oven.
huh?
Yeah. So basically you can convert a grill into an oven.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah, I've seen people do it all the time.
I've never tried that. I gotta try that.
Yeah, I think Alta Brown actually did that. It was a little bit different. It was called the Ring of Fire, but you know, mine's more like the hot zone, cold zone.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, what is your favorite meal to cook? Like, be it breakfast, lunch, dinner, dessert, that sort of thing?
I kind of like lunch a little bit better because you have a little bit more freedom with it. Like you're able to like freestyle. Like for sandwiches, it's kind of like for sandwiches especially because I remember working at a deli. I like the idea of the deli. I just didn't really like the corporate stuff, you know. But I really like the idea of the deli because it's kind of like you know you can customize your own sandwich. You can like do anything you want with it. And I always kind of like the casual style lunch, you know, just kind of like that. Although I wouldn't mind a fancy lunch either, you know, like somewhere from like Blackbird in Chicago or like somewhere from like Noma in Denmark, which has actually been named the best new restaurant in the whole world. Yeah, it's really quite something.
We gotta go to Denmark then.
Yeah.
Is there a component convention near there?
I think there is actually.
Ooh. Maybe that might be a cool thing.
Road trip.
Flight trip, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually heard that at that restaurant they actually cook seagull eggs.
What?
Yeah, they cook seagull eggs.
I'm afraid.
That sounds.
It's
well,
not bad.
At least it doesn't sound as bad as the Turkey Testicle Festival.
Oh my God,
that
John!
actual
Why?
thing?
Why?
Yeah, it's
I
an
mean, I
actual
tried
thing.
Rocky Mountain oysters once.
I've had those.
Yeah.
Literally, they will, like, cook turkey testicles and feed it to people. I'm just like,
That's called snap
Really?
to tail, dude. You gotta use every single part of it.
Ew.
That's oh boy,
that's
I
the
got
one
comment.
place where I'd puke in your face.
Bro, possibly. I'd be looking at it like, I'll be right back.
Okay, well.
Anyways.
I completely understand.
Right. Isn't the term that lunch is always supposed to be the biggest meal of the day?
Not really. Like, are you talking about like in terms of like what in terms of like in terms of like
How
health?
the body like performs
well,
better,
like
right?
the
Lunch
most
is the best.
important. Well, actually, breakfast is supposed to be the most important meal of the day.
Because it gets you going.
Yeah, because basically, I heard about this. When you sleep, you actually sweat a lot. Your body is actually working while it's sleeping because it's a moment of rest. And then
I did that last night. That's for sure.
yeah, and basically your body kind of like digests the food like over
Right.
time. And you're supposed to have breakfast because you're supposed to refill your energy, and you're supposed to have protein especially because in order to like fully wake up and everything, you have to have protein in your body in order for your amino acids to like activate your muscles and everything and get you moving.
Now, is that why meats like sausage and bacon and that sort of stuff is very popular for breakfast?
Kind of, although I think the best way to get your protein is the egg.
Okay.
Specifically, hard-boiled eggs are usually the healthiest option. Just kind of like put it in water and just boil it and then just like peel it off. That's like the best source of protein. It's also the cheapest, which is really good
Right.
for anyone on a budget. In fact, I actually heard Jamie Oliver actually is able to make scrambled eggs 3 ways.
Really?
There's an English style, a French style, and an American style. It's
Which is the style that's the most uncommon?
It would be the French style because basically what you do is that you take the eggs, you whip it, and then you make something called a bain-marie, which you kind of take a pot of simmering water and you put another pot on top of it, and you're basically steaming the eggs. The only drawback is it takes it takes twice as long to cook the eggs as it's just
Right.
doing it just directly on the pan. But it's actually a little bit more like buttery without adding butter. Yeah, Jamie Oliver actually has a video over on FoodTube that actually explains this. So it's really neat to watch. I think if you're ever curious about how to make like scrambled eggs differently, or kind of like if you're like looking for cool ideas, I highly suggest you check out Jamie Oliver.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, final question we
Actually,
have.
I've actually got one
Okay.
more before anything.
Okay.
The idea for your costume.
Oh, the outfit.
Yes.
This is actually kind of a neat idea because I wanted to have something like an icon for my website and as well as for the channel. So what I did is I actually bought this old chef coat over on eBay used. Got it for a really good deal of $35, by the way. Very, very good deal. And then I got something called eye dye, which is like a special type of dye that you kind of like put inside your washing machine and you put it through a rinse cycle over it, and then it would actually turn it pink, and you would like kind of dry it out. And for the patches, I got these on eBay, which the Pinkie Pie cutie mark and also the cupcake, like just generic cupcake.
Just generic cupcake.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty simple, but it's nice. Plus, I like to add that bandana because it's kind of like
That's the manly part.
the
right?
bandana. I actually have like another bandana I was thinking about wearing, but I'm kind of afraid that I might get into trouble with it. But I actually also have this one with like red skulls on it.
Oh, wow.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I don't think I could get in trouble.
Yeah. Do you want me to like wear it on just to like see what it looks like?
Sure,
Sure, why not?
Okay. All right. By the way, this isn't really directly referencing the cupcakes, just so you know.
Oh,
This
I
is
wasn't
not-
even thinking that. I was thinking more Assassin's Creed 4.
You're into that
Pirates
game so
and
much. I'm letting you know
Yeah.
that right
Yes,
now.
I am.
Yeah. Well, what do you
I'm
think?
not ashamed to admit it.
You like it?
I do.
like-
Yeah. It makes me feel a little bit more.
You know what's funny, John? Is we always ask this question, but we never asked this at all yet.
Okay.
Favorite main six.
Favorite main six.
We've done that before.
We haven't done it with him yet.
Oh.
Favorite main six. That's actually very difficult.
I would have
because-
thought it was AJ, but
It's actually a little bit of a tie between like AJ and Rarity. Actually,
Okay.
it's really hard because basically you have the sophistication, but I like AJ mostly because she's like one of the main inspirations for my Grace creations, as well as kind of like she's down to earth and everything like that.
right.
It's just really hard. Although I might be a little bit more in favor of AJ a little bit because she's a little bit more easygoing,
Right.
a little bit more easier going.
I agree.
Now, would that make your favorite ship Rare Jack?
Not exactly. I mean, I saw the potential within Look Before You Sleep, but
It's
that's
Fluttercore.
not-
We all know what the best ship is.
Oh, stop it.
I mean, it looks
Flutter
like it might be
Dash.
potential, but it just goes down. It just goes down.
Going.
It's
Gone.
just gone.
Yeah.
It's gone.
So, final question we have for you is: do you have any shout-outs you want to give?
Shoutouts. I do want to give a shout out to the original Brony chef from Twitter. I just want to say thank you very much for just kind of like helping me out with everything, for giving me a little inspiration. I hope you feel better in the hospital because he was in a car accident recently.
Ooh.
Yeah, he's not really too sure he was able to make it, but I just want to say
Thoughts and prayers go out to the Brony
Yeah,
Show.
yeah.
thoughts
Don't
and
worry, it's the
prayers.
original Brony
The
chef.
Brony Show.
Yeah, the one in Mexico. Yeah, he's from. Yeah, he like works in Mexico for some reason. I don't know how he ended up there.
Thoughts
But-
and prayers regardless.
Yep.
Yes, but also I believe to Chef Joe, who I actually met inside the convention actually today. He is a really awesome guy.
Is he the one that hosted that panel for the Brony or the
For the chef one?
Yeah.
Well, I think he's like one of the co-panelists, I believe. One of the co-panelists for the chef one.
Is that today or tomorrow?
I think it might be on Sunday. I
Or
think.
Sunday.
I think it
I might
be
wanna
on
go to
Sunday.
that then.
Yeah, I might end up actually jumping on board if they needed like extra people or something. Like I'm willing to help out. I'm willing
Right.
to help out. I'm willing to kind of like just stay longer if I wanted to.
Yeah.
But anyways, other shout outs, mostly to just the Windy City Bronies in general and also the Midwest Brony division. They've been some awesome people and they've been supportive. Also to Rock Chicago and to like plenty of other people out there. I just want to say thank you for sticking with me throughout this whole journey. And thank you for surviving the pony madness.
Yep.
That can be really annoying at times, but
Yep.
thank you.
No worries.
But yeah, those are my shout outs.
All right.
Cool. Well, that's it from me, John.
And me, Brian.
And from the Brony Gourmet.
We'll go with that one, right?
And we will talk to you guys later.
Peace out, Dragon.